with the next runner. He is live, he is ready, he is the one and only Boxmeister with Super Metroid. Box, take it away.
Thank you, Mies. Welcome, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Super Metroid. 100%, 100 items to be collected. Lots of items to collect, lots to explain. So I'll say if tech is ready, let's get the run started in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. Welcome to. Oh, the excitement! I feel it. So, Super Metroid. We start off at a distant space station where something is about to be kidnapped. Yeah. Plots, I know. But this is the part of the run that's the same for every Super Metroid run. See the baby Metroid and see its big kidnapper. We'll fight later in the run. So, Super Metroid, famous speed game, one of the originators of speedrun category names such as any percent, low percent, 100%. And yeah, we're starting with an escape sequence. Gotta love them. Because this space station will blow up. And in this escape sequence, you'll see the first things in terms of movement tech. You'll notice me pumping Sam's arm down and up using my shoulder buttons. This is done because each time you do that, you move 1 pixel forward. So you actually move faster when you do that during an escape. Yeah, the big hindrance during this escape is all the steam appearing. We'll be fine. 42, let's go. We're off the space station and onto ZBs, where our adventure will happen. Super Metroid has been a speed game for a long time. There's a lot going on in this game in terms of movement tech, tricks, and that's without collecting all 100 items. Any percent of itself is already a work, but collecting all the items in the process all adds a lot of technical stuff to it, because some items need very specific tricks, and the biggest way you can improve in this game is through movement. So we'll be starting, and the start of every Super Metroid run is on the planet is identical, because you need to get Morph Bulb and missiles, and without Morph Bulb and missiles you can't really get anywhere in this game. So let's make our way there, and on the way you'll see me do a few things. Okay. I should have that setting activated. There we go. So what I did there, I used the moonwalk mode, and if you moonwalk, so moonwalk mode is if you shoot diagonally, you can walk backwards without turning around, and if you jump backwards from that, it removes the speed cap on your fall speed, so you fall a lot faster, and you even clip through a few platforms on the way, which is a nice trick. It's a more recent addition, but first let me get the morphing ball. Famous item, allows you to roll through small spaces. Also, you might want to get used to the item acquisition, the sound you heard there, because you're gonna hear it 99 more times at least. So next candidate item we're gonna get is the missiles. Missiles allows us to open missile doors. So the red doors take 5 missiles to open. Plus it also does damage against the bosses in this game. And you'll see me do a few movement tech things. What you saw me do there with the move, running and jumping into Morph Ball state there is a so-called Mock Ball. I basically transfer my running speed to my Morph Ball form. What you also see me do from time to time is to use my aim buttons to cancel my grab onto a ledge a little bit faster, and that has to do everything with hitbox manipulation. Another thing you can do with this game is wall jump, and we use that to great effect to get through this room over here. Oh, getting the enemies on the way. Whoops, there we go. And I'll shoot this one, and we're at the top of the room, ready on our way to the next major item we're gonna collect. Yeah, getting down here is pretty fast. It's also a challenge to climb up, and here, this is a good room to practice those ledge grabs, as we call them. Oh, that's a damage boost. You'll see that at a later point in the run more often. I did it accidentally over there. But it's we're good to go, and we're gonna open our missile door and actually fight our first mini boss. Because in this room you get the bombs item, so you can lay bombs in morph form to blow up some blocks. And after you get this item, this door locks and the mini boss fight starts. Fun fact: in the European version of this game, so the PAL version, the frame rate is different, but you can actually make it outside of the door before it locks, if you're really good. And this boss, it's all about position manipulation. You saw me start in a certain position, and I remain in a certain position as well. There we go. To force the boss continuously backwards. And we're already done with the first mini-boss. Now, to escape this small alcove down into this planet, we're gonna use a wall jump trick, one of the nicer wall jump tricks to learn, and it's Alcatraz. So 1, 2, no, that's not it. 2, oh come on, don't be like this. There we go. Jeez. That's one of the harder wall jump tricks to learn. It's a lovely way to escape. Saves time over having to bump the blocks on the right side there. And in this room, it's all about killing the enemies, getting our first energy tank. This energy tank is picked up in every category, I believe. Because you need a minimum of 3 E-tanks to fight the final boss and win, actually. Specifically to win, you can fight either without 3 E-tanks, but you can't survive. Yeah, Super Metroid is all about killing 4 major bosses to unlock Turian to fight the Mother Brain. Yeah, we're going through the different areas, entering Green Brinstar now, and we're gonna do our first major sequence break here. And this sequence break is called early super missiles. Because normally the game expects you to have speed booster to make it past the gates. But if you use a well-placed mock ball, you can actually make it past the gates, and that's a damage boost back. It's a nice one. It's a cheeky one. And contrary to the any percent category, we also get the items in this door. There are 3 items in this room: the reserve tank, which you can fill up and refills your energy if you drop to 0, or if you manually menu that from the menu. And some more missiles, actually. For the first half hour of the game, that is our only super missiles we'll get, because early on in the game you don't have access to a lot of super missiles. But we'll be getting there. And let's see if I can make the mock ball on the way back. Nope. That one is relatively tight. It's more of an Indiana Jones like escape. But we'll be getting the items and getting on the way. Now, normally you would get super missiles after another mini boss you can fight called Spore Spawn. But since we can get these super missiles early, we can actually skip that boss entirely. The super missiles behind Spore Spawn we will get later in the run as well, using a nice little trick. Well, I'll talk about that when we get there, but first we're gonna get a few more items. Well, at least one more major upgrade before our next major event. And that's in this red Brimstone zone. There are a few more items. You may see a few more items on the sidelines on this wave, such as this missile tank. It's in 100% it's faster to pick it up later. In any percent you would pick that missile up straight away, but we'll be passing through this area one more time later in the run. And it's faster to pick it up at that point. And I'll explain right then why. So now we have Charge Beam. Charge Beam allows us to charge our beam and do more damage with it. And that means that we also are able to kill all of the bosses without depending solely on missiles. Oh. Oh. That was... Okay, what happened there? If you press the angle button and hold, you can and accidentally let go of your directional inputs, you actually stop straight away. And we used it in a few places. I used it earlier on the way to Morph Ball to actually trigger the elevator straight away. And I did it there accidentally, but it's gonna be fine. I have a nice HP count here. The green doors are super missile doors. They take 1 super missile to open. And we get the Spacer Beam here, which triples our beams. It's a nice beam upgrade, so increases our damage output as well. And we can make our escape on the way back and continue. Now, Spacer Beam... The older any percent route actually skips Spacer Beam, because it'll get Plasma Beam instead. And Plasma Beam completely replaces Spacer Beam once you get it, although you can switch between the 2 beams. But you can actually in the newer any percent route, Spacer Beam is actually picked up because they skip picking up Plasma Beam, and it considerably increases the damage output. Now, just to be safe, I'm gonna be killing the Kai Hunters here. Gonna be fine, but we're taking a little bit more safety, just because we can. Having a few movement mishaps, but it's gonna be fine. Getting a super refill from the fake Crate boss fight, and in Crate is the first boss you fight naturally. Normally, with the entrance into the area, the game expects you to have a high jump, but if you time your jump, you can actually get there without high jump. And we get a high jump after fighting Crate. So now, what I'm gonna be doing is setting up for a quick kill and firing a missile to lock it in, try and stun it into the mouth, into the animation that you can fire all super missiles in at once. Didn't get that one, unfortunately, but gonna make quick work of this fight. Let's see. Okay. There we go. That's great. Easy fight. Even without a quick kill, it's not a difficult fight. It takes 1 missile and 4 supers to kill him. And Crate is guarding actually the Varia suit. And Varia suit is a suit upgrade that protects us against the heat damage in the heated rooms. It also gives us a damage reduction in the damage we take from enemies. So in multiple ways, very useful upgrades. And Crate also gave me enough supers for a refill. Now, for the strat in the next room with all the Kai Hunters, I jump through the door to manipulate their RNG a little bit. And that means that I can make it through without touching them, which is lovely. Once you defeat Crate, this door can be opened. And in this door, we get our second E-tank, giving us a lot more health and setting us up... we're getting a few more E-tanks in rather quick succession. In any percent, ideally you would only get 3 E-tanks, because you only need 3 E-tanks minimum to beat the game. In 100% we get 14 E-tanks. 230 missiles total, 5 missiles per missile pack we pick up, and 5 super spare pack we pick up, which leads to a maximum of 50 supers. I will be getting a few more upgrades along the way. In fact, we're on our way to one right now. First, we will pick up this energy tank. And on the way back through this room, we'll see another missile tank. The reason I killed the enemy is to unlock the door and to be able to open it on the way out without having to wait for the enemy. And we'll be getting the high jump boots right here. High jump boots increases our jump height, and that may not seem significant, but the increase in jump height also means you jump fast. Your vertical movement through jumping is also faster, so it's actually also a movement speed increase, which is what people found out when they started doing randomizers of this game, as a matter of fact. So now we'll be on our way to the Bubble Mountain area, as it's called, and there will be several items there. So, Mies, if you have something to say in the meantime, go ahead.
Well, may I have you asked so? I do have a question for you,
Yes.
Box. We have an incentive going on. Have you rather like kill or save the animals? What are you preferring?
My first speed game was Metroid Fusion, and Metroid Fusion assumes you save the animals on this planet, actually, so it's the canon outcome. So I used to say, just despite the Super Metroid runners a little bit, save the animals. In the Super Metroid run, you don't save the animals because it takes time to save them. I am fine either way, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So you can also transfer to the question: is Metroid Fusion canon? Yes or no?
Yeah, you can say that again, because we have like 110 euros for kill the animals, and currently on save the animals we are at 95, so it's really close. And yeah, I don't know how much time do they have for
basically once I drop the final boss is when I need to know.
Oh, okay, before the final boss you need to know when I'm gonna close it down.
Well, once I kill the final boss, we have the escape sequence, and in this escape sequence you can save or kill the animal. So once I kill the final boss, I need to know which one of the two it is.
Okay, cool.
I'll give you a heads up, by the way.
We have time.
As well. Yeah, you have. We're about 16, 17-ish minutes in. You have 1 hour, 10 minutes or so from here.
Okay.
So you have plenty of time to donate and to actually.
Good to go.
Yeah.
All right. We are currently having no donations in, but we can also say we are the Benelux Speedrun Gathering. We organize bi-monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners. We're currently streaming on our annual event live from the Hotel Asteria in Van Rij, the Netherlands. We are raising money for Mind, which is a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who is dealing with mental issues themselves or within their family. All your donations will go to Mind. Back to you, Box.
Yeah, Mind is a great and worthy cause. In the meantime, I picked up another major item by the name of Speed Booster. And Speed Booster is an item, if you run long enough, you start dashing through and you can break blocks, enemies. It's lovely. But it also enables another new set of tech, which we'll be seeing in several more minutes. In the meantime, I'll be picking up Wave Beam here. And Wave Beam allows us to shoot through walls. Which means we can open a few more places easily. It's also a considerable damage upgrade to our beams. And the nice thing about Speed Booster is your run speed increases, and the increase in jump speed also gives us an increase in jump height on top of our high jump. So as you can see, we can make a lot of vertical distance because of it. I like that super drop there, by the way. That's helpful. And we'll actually, for 100%, there are 2 routes you can do. You can do early grapple beam, which I'm going to do. And you can do late grapple beam. Well, it's early grapple, late ice, or early ice, late grapple. The variations, because It all really depends on one trick you can do when picking up the springball items. You can do a clip using the ice beam, or you can break the block using the grapple beam. So here we have a good friend Crocomire. Say hi. And Crocomire is not a boss fight where you have a health, a boss which has specific health, but it's basically a tugging war. So you force him backwards by doing damage, shooting shots into his mouth, and you need to both drive him backwards until, well, he's gonna meet his demise here soon, because once he steps on this bridge, it'll, there we go, crumble under him, and Crocomire goes down into the assets. We'll be picking up this energy tank in the meantime, and we'll be making our way to the grapple beam area. And yeah, this is a bit graphical, I'll admit. Crocomire really gets a graphical death in this game. Poor Crocomire. Now, we need to make our way past this wall, but we'll need to wait for a certain event to happen. Because Crocomire is not entirely down yet. Yeah, the cutscene locks you into the screen so you can wall jump off the edges, which is funny. I tend to do that. And there's the skeleton of Crocomire, and he crumbles, and Crocomire is done. And now, that wall is also what Crocomire will drive you into if you get damaged into the fight. So we'll be making our way to grapple beam, but first we'll pick up our first tank of power bombs on the way. And power bombs are more powerful bombs, as the name implies. Allows us to break power bomb blocks, and it's a really definitely a required item. I'll be doing a big moonfall on the way down here. There we go. And here is where we'll be. What you saw me do after Crocomire, by the way, is something that's known as a Shine Spark. I'll do one here as well. So what you can do with Speed Booster, once you're in Speed Booster state, you can press down to store the energy, and then you can release it into a dash upwards, diagonally, or horizontally. And you can, it's definitely required to understand the technique for 100%, because you need it to get all the items in the game. But we'll be using it in a few places to speed up our progress. So I'm gonna try and get a really cool mock ball on the way back. Seems good, seems good. There we go. Yeah, that one looks fancy. I love that one. Yeah, I love that mock ball. It's one beautiful mock ball you can do. That's why I go for the missiles early, because you can also pick up the missiles on the way out, both through using grapple beam. And if you would do the late grapple beam route, you would do this entire segment after Ridley, but at that point you have overpowered beams, and Crocomire you can finish in one shot. And you have space jump as well, so you can move vertically a lot easier. But we'll be making our way out of this area soon, because we got the major upgrades that we need, and it'll be a little bit more before we get back here. So first, a little bit on the route, because 100% actually follows the natural boss order that the game developers intend. So the natural boss order that would be Crate, Phantoon, Dragon, and Ridley. Now the newer any percent route, so the world record route, does Phantoon first, then Ridley, then Crate, then Dragon. The reason we don't do this in 100% is in order to clear the area where Phantoon is located. Wreckship is very remote, and in order to clear it of items in one go, we need Speed Booster, and Speed Booster is located in Norfair. The old any percent route, which is still very fast, is actually does the natural boss order as well. But things the main reason the new route saves time is because it saves you back and forth between Wreck Ship and Lower and Norfair. Even though you get items that negate some of the difference. So we'll be climbing our way up here in order to get to Wreck Ship. What I need to do is dodge these rippers, and I open the block. There we go. The game expects you to have... Oh, I landed in this. Good job, me. The game expects you to have Ice Beam at this point, but with ball jumps you can skip Ice Beam for now, and it's a little bit for the route I'm doing. It's a little bit more efficient to pick Ice Beam up later. Nice. That's the damage boost. This game has some really cool damage boosts you can do, and that save a lot of time because the damage you get boosted pretty far by the damage boost. You'll see me use it in a few places to gain a little bit more distance quicker. Let's see if I can get this. No. Getting the one on the way back is a lot harder, I can tell you. I always tend to go for it, but it doesn't always work, unfortunately. We'll be picking up a few more items here. Normally, the power bomb tank in the room I just picked up would be the first one you pick up if you don't go to Boxmeister first, in the late grapple route, for example, or in the any percent ult route. Yeah, you need to kill those 3 enemies in order to open the door in this room, and also to break the platform to get out. One more damage boost, because we can. And then we're almost we'll be getting back to Criteria, so we'll be on the right to where our spaceship is. And we'll be going further right into the Wreck Ship area to fight Fantoon.
We have time for a donation.
Definitely.
All right, cool. We have a donation by Toby of 20 euros.
Ooh.
I've never played a Metroid game, but they are so much fun to watch, and Boxmeister is already fast enough so we can afford to save the animals!
Ah.
All right, so we have currently 110 euros on kill the animals, and now 115 euros to save the animals!
Ah. Now that's getting interesting there. What I did there, by the way, Speed Booster takes a certain time to kick in, but you can shorten the time either by pressing the button later, but if you do some taps of the run button, because this game has a dedicated run button, I should say, you can also trigger the Speed Booster in a shorter distance, because the way Speed Booster works, it checks if certain run animations happen, and you can trick the game into getting that over a lot of a shorter distance. I'll be going to try that in in a little bit from now. So I'll be doing a few tricks with that at a few points in the run. So let's see if I can get this one here. This one is tricky because it's... Nope. I got the first few frames, but the taps are pretty precise to get it. So the next boss is Fantoon, and the Wreck Ship area is basically drained of electricity because of this boss. So we need to kill this boss first in order to collect the other items in this area. Ooh, that's a fast pattern. That's a fast pattern. That's what every speedrunner wants. Because the problem with Fantoon is he can open his eyes very quickly. It can take a little while. It can take really long, and so we refer to them as fast, mid, and slow. And it may come as no surprise to you that we want a fast pattern. It's easy to take a lot of damage on this boss, so it's not a free fight in the slightest. Okay, I was too late with that. Luckily, you can farm these flames for ammo and for health. The hitbox of these flames stays on the screen quite a time after killing them. Give me that. Okay, come on. Okay, that's not bad. Now one more, please. Nope. No fast pattern, so waiting. He's red, so super does a lot of damage, but the problem is if you fire a super too early, you enrage Fantoon, and that phase is really dangerous. There's a way to cheese that phase. There we go. Okay. But you don't want that phase because it takes a long time. But Fantoon is down. That's the second offer for major bosses we have to fight. Yeah, thank you, thank you. So I want... now, this part we're coming up to is the most dangerous part of the 100% route. Because even though we have 4 E-tanks, it's really easy to die passing a certain room. But first, we'll pick up to 2 more super missile tanks. Because we have had 5 super missiles up until now. But we'll be getting 2 super missile tanks in short succession. So that brings up our super count extensively. Now these worker bots you'll see in a couple of places, and this area of wreck ship is filled with a lot of spikes, and these spikes do quite a bit of damage. Fun fact, you may have seen that one in the item I picked up before Fantoon. Those spikes don't do damage if the electricity isn't working, so it's really funny to see. But yeah, I need to be careful on my health. In fact, what I'm gonna do... the problem, what you can have, we need to pass a area with moving platforms with spikes underneath them. It's very easy to clip through those platforms. And if you clip through those platforms into the spikes, you nearly instantly die. So just to be absolutely safe in this marathon run, I'm just gonna save here. And the reason I save now... it's because the save station only works after defeating the Fantoon in this area. It's not something you normally see in a run, but a little bit more safety, because this is the most dangerous part of the run, and after this it's really safe. And I want to take a little bit more risk as well, which I can do now, since I actually have more health at my disposal. Because because I need to traverse these rooms for an out-of-the-way item, and this out-of-the-way item is an E-tank. And once I get an E-tank, I get a refill as well. So once I get this E-tank, I'm basically out of danger. And that's also at that point we're also past the most dangerous part of the run. So GG for that part. Now you may notice I'm using the grapple beam here to traverse this. You can also traverse this without a grapple beam, but it's very precise, that last jump. And no, that's not the damage boost I'm getting. Okay, it's you can do it with a bomb jump. You can also time the jump, but it's somewhat precise. Yeah, the biggest danger in this room with the platform is if you turn around right above a platform, you can clip right through it, which is a technique called Kegoing. I will use it at a certain other place in the run to try and get through an area a little bit quicker. But at that point, we have a lot more energy and a lot better equipment. Oh, hang on, that one escaped. That's not nice. Let me get that. I'm surprised that Key Hunter escaped. Okay. Now, the way this room works is you can only open the doors once you kill all the enemies inside. But if you don't open the doors before leaving that one, because after this room we need to go all the way to the left. But the problem is if you don't open the door right then and there, you have to kill all the enemies again to open that door. So that's why it's usually faster to just run to the left and open the door before getting the missile pad tank here. Yeah, the wreck ship we clean in one go, and after that we don't have to get here ever again. And it's interesting because Super Metroid allows for a lot of sequence break. You can do the bosses in this game in any order you like. You can do Dragon first. It's difficult. It's tough as nails. Difficult. You can even do it in the reverse boss order, as it's called. That's actually a speedrun category as well. So you do Ridley first, then Dragon, then Crate, then Phantoon. The problem with that is that all the environmental suits, and I'm not getting this. Let me set that up again. We'll do it this way. The problem is that Crate locks the Varia suit, which protects you against heat damage, and Phantoon locks the Gravity suit, which we'll be getting in a bit, which allows you to move normally underwater. And the problem with that is Ridley is in a very heated area and Dragon is in an underwater area. So those areas are very difficult without the proper suits. So that's why that category is one of the more... Well, people say that most runners actually say that's more difficult than running low percent. Low percent is... category where you pick up the lowest percentage of items and finish the game, which is 13% in this game, and both suits are included into that category because otherwise you would need to get 7 or 8 more E-tanks or so to complete the game. So it's actually for low percent better to pick up the suits. But yeah, you can fight the bosses in any order. So in fact, Super Metroid has a very big category extension board. So there are tons of categories. For example, getting grabbed by getting the mini bosses, the Crocomire RTA you have, or Spore Spawn RTA, which is the only one of the few categories in which you actually fight Spore Spawn. All bosses, map completion. You have 100% map completion, so color all the map tiles on your map. It has a really big speedrunning scene, and yeah, this game is a nice challenge because you have a lot to learn in terms of movement and techniques. It's really cool because it's a challenge to complete the game, but it's also not an added challenge on top of that to go really fast in this game. Chance back here to pick up another reserve tank, by the way. And then we'll be getting our next major item upgrade. I kind of spoiled it a little bit earlier already. It's the Gravity Suit. And Gravity Suit allows normal movement in water. And that's gonna be useful because the next area we'll be going to is Meridia, which is an underwater area. It's gonna be really cool. Yeah, and the purple suit looks amazing, I have to say. So, Moonfall on the way out. Damage boost, and let's get that item. There's an item here, and it's obviously faster to get it with the gravity suit because you'll move a lot faster underwater. And we'll be making our way... Now, in any percent, you will be going down the Red Tower again to Meridia, but we'll actually be going on a cleanup tour through the areas we visited earlier, since we now have a lot more upgrades. So it's, for example, Speed Booster, which is required to pick up a few items. But we also have Wave Beam at our disposal. We have a few things we can use. And to be absolutely safe, I'm gonna heal at the ship. Now you saw me store a Shine Spark there. The nice thing about storing a Shine Spark is that it will remain through this animation, actually. And I can do the Shine Spark after healing. So opening the door here with a power bomb and then using a speed booster jump to make quick work of the enemies here. 95, 15, 15 at refilling at the ship is also a good check to see that I've got all the items up until now. And here we're actually going to use a little bit of a trick, because what you can do, if I position myself and fire the shot downwards, you may hear a door opening. And that's the door we need to go through, because we need to be going through an area known as the gauntlets. And I used a wraparound shot to open that door, which allows me to do this crazily long shine spark. I love that one. And immediately we get a refill through the E-tank located in this area. It saves us from having to individually power bomb all those pillars in that previous room. That's really slow, and yeah. We'll be quickly make our way through this area. Now the next room is a shaft with crumble blocks on the way down, and it contains 2 items. I need to be very careful with positioning myself, because if I fall too far down the left or right, I lock out one of the other shafts, and then I'll have to loop back around to again to get the item, which is incredibly slow. So I'm really careful here and getting both of the items. Now we end up on the way to Green Brinstar once we get go through this fall down here, and we're here in this zigzag room with space pirates, and on our way to Green Brinstar, where we picked up the early supers amongst others, and we'll be picking up several more items. And we'll be meeting actually the animals that we might kill or save later, which is also lovely. We're gonna see at least one set of the animals. The other set we'll ideally don't want to see, because if we see them, I'm messed up, I should say. Because that means I'll forgot to jump. We'll do a cheeky little moonfall here on the way down. Now these... We're gonna be getting a few E-tanks. That should make it. There is a pit down here, which we'll be going into later, but this jump should make it. Yeah, there we go. And we've collected one entire row of E-tanks here, 7 E-tanks. Some more supers, and we'll be collecting a power bombed tank, which we need to loop a way around for. So we'll be following here. Now these enemies latch onto you and damage you slowly, but I have enough health to ignore them. You can easily shoot them off you. Those were some of the animals down there, and they actually chirp the item acquisition animation. The one you hear when we collect items. Now this item acquisition sound takes roughly 6 seconds. So if you collect 100 items... no, that's not the mock ball. If you collect 100 items, you actually hear about 10 minutes of item acquisition in this run. Can you imagine that? That's a lot of item acquisition sounds. 10 minutes straight, if you put it back to back. Now, the floor part I jumped over actually contains speed booster blocks. So if I don't jump, oh, careful. I fall down the pit, and the other animal is actually down the pit there. And fun fact, those animals actually teach you the tricks for wall jumping and shine sparking. So those Atcoons down the pits actually teach you wall jumping. They show you, because they'll be they'll actually jump wall jump diagonally up the shaft there. And the Dakora, the bird, that's the bird-like animal, will actually in that pit will actually show you how to shine spark up, which is really cool. They actually teach you useful stuff in this game. Nice casual hint. Now this room actually requires Wavegate to shoot the gate open. Normally, you can also do a trick with the camera where you actually use the camera to have the gate basically out of vision, but still able to hit the gate trigger. So you can actually open the gate using a super. It's actually a trick we're gonna use right here because remember me talking about Spore Spawn and being a super missile pack behind it? Yeah, we can get that without fighting him. So what we're doing? There we go. What I did there is I manipulated the camera because there's a super missile block there, and normally you can't reach that. The camera obscures it, but if you manipulate the camera carefully, you can actually shoot that super missile block. And this is basically the Spore Spawn skip I just did. We skipped an entire mini-boss. Just like that. It's you'll never see Spore Spawn in this run. Never. In fact, Spore Spawn only has a few categories in which he appears, like the aforementioned Spore Spawn RTA or the All Bosses category, which is also a cheeky category some people run. In fact, there's also a category that follows the Nintendo Power Guide for this game. That's has a very interesting item order in that game. It's also a bit more of a natural order. It doesn't do a lot of the sequence breaks that we actually do in this run. This energy tank in this room you can also get without a gravity suit because the area on top of that tunnel we speed boosted through, you can actually is long enough to do charge a shine spark on if you use a quick charge method. So quick charge is if you start walking and then press the run button, then you get the speed booster a little bit quicker, and then you have the short charge, which is a tapping method, which allows you to get the speed boost over a much shorter distance. This missile tank is also a little bit cheeky. And we're now actually completed our cleanup down here, and we're on our way to Meridia, the underwater area. So we'll be picking up where we left off. Be filling a few supers on the way. Actually, I'll pick up that one as well. So Red Tower, and this time down to Meridia. Doing a move for here just because we can. And yeah, we with the extra movement upgrades, we can get through this area a lot easier, especially since we picked up a few of the items. Oh, that was not what I intended. We picked up the spacer beam here earlier already. Now this glass tube we can break with a power bomb. You can also. The wreck ship has also has a back door which you can traverse an area to get through wreck ship, but it's not used often. Now what I did here was a short charge. I tapped at two specific places to get the animations quicker to get the speed booster, and that allowed me to get that E-tank right there. Oh, I fell down. Hang on. So our next E-tank is following soon. We'll be doing another shine spark actually. So let me first open this door real quick. And this shine spark is pretty easy to place. And just to be sure, because I'm too far off, I need to use my grapple beam here. There we go. In fact, I should be. Oh, come on. There we go. Well, I would need to get that second item. Yeah, there are two items in this wall. They're pretty easy to get. You can also get it through activating the Mama Turtle, and if you stand on her, she boosts you up as well. But Shine Spark is much quicker. Actually, sorry, Meridia has a lot of items we'll be collecting as well. Not as many major upgrades, but the major upgrades that we do collect in here are very important. They make a ton of difference in the run. And yeah, I'm getting all the super missiles now, and those super missiles do 3 to 5 times more damage depending on the boss. So they're a really nice resource. And there's a lot to collect here. And we'll be visiting the area known as the beach. Because this is the top part of Meridia, and it's actually it has a part above water. Right here. So we're out of the water for a very small amount of time, and there's as you see, the items are have quite the hidden spots to them. Although sometimes some hidden spots contain multiple items. I do wonder who hit a pack of super missiles and a pack of missiles here, because it seems like a random location to put them into, but yeah, those are the real questions that keep me up at night. But so far so good. And right now we'll be making our way past the mini boss and boss in this area, because Dragon is the next major boss we're gonna face. But on the way we'll face another mini boss, and those supers, and even speed booster and grapple beam will come in handy for that. I'll show you, because Meridia is an area where we loop a few times around due to the way it's built, due to the way the items are hidden here. So this area we're in right now will be passing a few more times, although from the right side of the area. So I'll be trying another short charge here. There we go. That doesn't save as much time, because normally the game expects you to get a speed booster by walking a little bit further backwards. There we go. That's bot wound. Bot wound just takes 10 supers to go down. It's not a difficult mini boss, but getting the supers in. Hang on. I should have shot that. There we go. But getting the supers in can be a bit tough. So I'm setting up for a trick here. Getting the Shine Spark to the top and hopefully unleashing that to do what's known as the halfie. This Shine Spark gets me halfway through this room. And I landed it. That's nice. There is an advanced version you can do if you're really good if you're even better with your movement, which can get you through the entire room. That one is kind of tight to get. I've been several times, few frames short of it. One day I'll get it. But we'll be getting the item here, and we'll be getting into the boss fight. And Dragon is an interesting boss fight, because Dragon has a lot more to it. Because Dragon is a boss that will be swooping down from the left and from the right once she appears. And what you can do in this room, if you are good at short charging, you can charge Shine Sparks. And the nice thing about Shine Sparks is that they damage Dragon, so we can use those in this fight. But another way to kill Dragon is there we go. Let's see if we can do that. This is a more casual way to do it. You can also let her grab you and then latch onto the electrical output with your grapple beam, and that gives a quick kill as well. It's a cheeky one, this one. And that's Dragon. Easy fight. another major boss down. And we'll be collecting our next major upgrade. And this upgrade is nice, Space Jump, because Space Jump allows you to jump continuously through the air, which is a lot better to gain vertical distances. Makes movement very trivial, and it's a great movement upgrade, especially in conjunction with speed boosts, wall jumps. It's great. The next, we'll be collecting 2 more upgrades in the Meridia area, and it'll be a few loops through the area, because the problem is at some point down in one of the areas, you can you have sandpit to the left and sandpit to the right. Both sandpits, unfortunately, contains items. So, in order to get both sets of items, we need to look back around. Luckily, we can use use that to get our next major upgrade a little bit more in an optimal manner. So the routing actually conveniently works out. But yeah, you'll be seeing this area minus these two item pickups one more time in a few minutes. And yeah, it's the reason I jumped over that is because these blocks right here are crumble blocks. And we'll be going into the right sandpit first, and also, a little heads up I'm gonna give to the host. We'll be getting soon to a room where we actually have to wait for a little bit, and then allows you to plug or read donations. There are no donations from what I can see, but maybe some plugs.
Good to know. Thank you.
Cause yeah, both sandpits contain 2 items, each. But once we drop down this final sandpit, we go to one of the most out-of-the-way items, and because it's 100%, we'll have to pick it up. But it's actually is considered a major item. It's actually, I can say it in advance, it is Spring Ball. And Spring Ball allows you to jump in Morph Ball form, which it's nice. It's absolutely not a necessary item to complete the game, because you have other options. You can use Morph Ball bombs to bomb yourself into the air, and the problem with this item is that it's guarded by Shacktool over here, and Shacktool needs to break this entire corridor of sand blocks, and yeah, that's our coffee break. So go ahead, Mies.
Wow, I think that's going to take a while to demolish those blocks there, right? All right. We have... yeah, it's going to take some while. We have still a bit more going on, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, you can donate on a donation incentive on this very own Super Metroid 100% game. And I think you all are known with the incentive. Is kill or save the animals. We are currently at 110 euros to kill the animals or save the animals. Is ahead with 5 euros more, so that's sitting on 115 euros so far. But if it's if you have something else going on, we have also if you donate 25 or more, you can also win lovely prizes. We have some great prizes for you through the marathon. These prizes will only be available for the marathon of this event, and like I said, it required a minimum of 25 euros to enter. You can find more information about that bsgmarathon.com/donate. You have also some nice pictures with that, and you can see what you can win. And Science One, I hope Save the Animals win. Yeah, you can donate by saving the animals. So I don't know how we are doing Box currently at the moment. Are we out of the sandpit?
Well, we're on our way to collect another major item, and then we're gonna go to Sandpit, and we'll continue to Norfair, actually. But the next major upgrade we'll receive here is a important one damage output wise, because it's another beam upgrade, and it's the plasma beam. And the plasma beam does damage for the goes through enemies, and it does a lot more damage. It overrides your spacer beam, although you can toggle between the two beams if you open your menu. But it does considerably more damage than spacer beams. Just to compare, if you have the full beam combo with plasma versus the full beam combo with spacer, it's 3 times more damage. And that makes a lot of a difference for the next major boss we're gonna fight, as well as the final boss, actually. And yeah, it's plasma beam is amazing. Although we don't have all the beams yet, but we'll be getting our last beam. Well, technically second to last beam soon. I'll talk more about that when we get there. But first, we're gonna loop back around to get to the other sand pits with 2 items, and then we'll make our way to the exit of this area, and we'll be out of the water and into the fire. Which oh boy, things are gonna get heated from there. Let me tell you that much. And heated in more ways than one, because the soundtrack is also fire, really, right there. And right here in Merida, it's more a cooler soundtrack, you know. It's lovely. This game has a great atmospheric soundtrack, I should say. It's honestly one of the best. It really sets the tone, the mood of being a all by yourself exploring the planet. And the movement in this game is also really fantastic. This game is a straight classic. I really like it. Hence me speedrunning it.
It's always fast, right? You're always on the move. It's like bouncing, jumping, blasting around in a way, you know. Every exit is one. Every entrance is one, you know.
Yeah, you're doing in order to move fast through this game, you're doing a lot of things, and it's really technical run in the sense, in all senses of the word, word. And yeah, you're constantly doing inputs on all buttons in order to maximize your movement speed. And getting from A to B in a fast way through this game is an art in and of itself.
Yeah, because there are a lot of ways to go through the levels, if I may say so. How do you memorize them? It's insane how many different angles or directions you have to go to.
Well,
you know?
usually you try to look for a way that works for you, because obviously the fastest method for you may be different than the fastest method for somebody else, and then you practice it over and over and over and over again. People that have really good times in this game, they put hundreds and hundreds of hours into it, and yeah, it's insane what can be achieved in this run.
How long did it take for you to get a run in? How much hours of practice did you spend on this game?
Well, what I did, I learned, I completed this game for the first time 6 years ago, and what I tended to do is I would race at that point I ran Metroid Fusion, and what I did is I would race another member of that community every Friday evening on this game. And I was really slow. We did any percent races of like 2 to 3 hours or such. And yeah, it's just slowly improve, you get the hours in, because the only way you can get comfortable with the movement is if you just get the experience with it. And yeah, at some point I started putting more dedicated practice in, and at that point your time starts to improve. And then, for example, for any percent, I went from 3 hours to now a little bit over an hour. But 100% is where my passion lies, and my PB for this game is for 100% for this game is a 1:30:18, very close to the sub 1:30 there. Oh. I messed up.
And that's like world record pace, or?
Nah. Let me put it this way. World record is 1:12:55,
Oh
and
wow.
it's crazy. It's crazy because basically a lot of church. Because here's the thing. Several of the major tricks that the world record runner use, I can do as well, but of those 18 minutes of 18 or 17 minutes of worth of difference, about 15 minutes of them is pure on movement. That's how good a world record runner is at movement in this game, and it's. Let me put it this way: if you have a sub 125 or a sub 120, you are a good runner. And you have nothing to be ashamed of. It's just that at the world record runners of this game, people like Zenny, Zost, Goats, they have such a high level of execution that you forget how exceptional it is. And yeah, we're gonna get this cheeky item here, and we're on our way to Lower Norfair, as it's called, for our last few major upgrades and a boss fight, and also a really cool, a really great soundtrack. I'll talk about the soundtrack when we get there.
Okay, cool. Do you want to know what your time is now currently running, or do you don't want to know?
I mean, I made several mistakes. I know I'm not on PB pace.
Okay, because you said like on 110, on 115. It was like with the incentives, we're closing in, but we have still time, right?
We have 15 minutes at least.
15 minutes. Oh, okay, that's cool.
At least.
At least. Well, in the meantime, there's a donation in of 10 euros by Anonymous. I love this game. Let's go, Boxmeister. That's cool.
Thank you.
Currently on 2,186 euros. So, yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for your donation. And keep them coming.
Now, this soundtrack is great. The Lower Norfair sounds so menacing. It's really one of the best tracks. It's you hear the yeah, it's a favorite. Now this in order to get all the items, you need to drain this room of acid, and the only way this actually triggers is if you have space jump. So you can't do this without space jump, because even though you can get across this room easily without space jump, actually. But the statue won't trigger without it. So that's the thing that you encounter when you're playing randomizers of this game. Now, this is another room I need to be careful in, because this contains a mini-boss fight, but also these blocks down here are crumble blocks. And if I fall down, I need to loop all the way back around, which is slow. And there's an item up here as well. And let me trigger the mini-boss first and then get the item. And this mini-boss, you fight with Plasma Beam, and it can be a very difficult fight, but we're gonna be doing something cheeky here. Because what you can do is right here, and now he can't hurt me. This position is a blind spot. This boss can't hurt you when you're in this position, and that fight gets really easy when you do that.
Very nice.
And that's a chance charge there, right there, and then we're getting screw attack. And now screw attack is when things are getting really dangerous for our enemies, because basically, as long as it's not a boss, you spin jump into an enemy, it dies. Literally. And the nice thing about this room is that the enemies drop super missiles. It's always nice to have a bit more of, and then I can charge a Shine Spark and make my way through this room. Now this next room is named in the speedrunning community as the worst room of the game. Because there's a lot of enemies, it's a vertical shaft up, and It can be a pain to traverse. In 100% this is not a problem because we have space jump and screw attack. But in the any percent world record route, you don't have those items. And so what you'll be doing is you use a power bomb and do a very precise wall jump. It's a pain to get through that room. That's why it's called the worst room in the game. But in 100%, it's not as bad. Slightly inconvenient room.
Do you need certain upgrades in order to blast those walls away, or just fire away?
Those walls you can shoot with any beam. Those blocks in the middle of that room, when I went up, you need power bombs. But without power bombs, you can't get into this area anyway. So those are the minimum. You can get up that room with individual bomb jumps using the normal morph ball bombs. But the problem is the enemies can shoot you out of the air and then you fall down. Which it's always fun when that happens. Now he'll be doing a little bit of a convenient damage boost you can set up here, and you land right into this tunnel here. Now with screw attack, this area it gets a lot safer because the enemies can't really. Oh, in jump please, because the enemies can't really hurt you too much. Getting into a spin jump can be tricky at times, funnily enough, because. The problem is for wall jumps, for space jumps, you need to be in spin jump form. One button press up or down on the D-pads, and you're out of spin and you fall down, and you can only reinitiate spin jumps once you jump again. So you fall down all the way down to the ground. Oh. Now these pirates can only be hurt when they're in their yellow form once they jump into the air, but it's really easy with supers. Yeah, screw attack. With screw attack, not much can hurt you. And we're already at the last major boss before the final boss. Ridley. Ridley we saw at the start of the run. It's the giant dragon-like.
Oh yeah, I
creature.
remember that one. Yeah.
And Ridley takes 20 charge shots to kill. I'm on 6, 7. Oh. Problem is, okay, stop pogoing, please. 8, 9. Doing the Michael Jackson moves. This is one of the few fights where having the moonwalk is actually a bit of a pain, because the problem is this is a fight in which you do a lot of diagonal shots, but that also triggers the moonwalk setting. Because up until a few years ago, nobody would use moonwalk because it only gets in the way. Oh, I actually overkilled Ridley. Because normally when you fire 20 shots, Ridley picks you up and actually explodes, but I just decided to keep going, because why not?
Good choice.
And here's the broken tank. This one contained the baby Metroid, but the baby Metroid is no longer here. We'll encounter the baby Metroid later, and we'll also at the same time find out another fact that I'll point out. But first we're gonna escape from Lower Norfair. And yeah, Lower Norfair escaping is pretty easy. One thing you can also do with Plasma Beam, which I hopefully can demonstrate into the next room, if you've timed the shots correctly, you can walk through enemies because you trigger their invincibility frames. At that point, you can walk straight through them.
Do we have a baby skip in this game?
We actually do. Baby skip is a skip you can do in Turian.
Are we gonna do that? Is a question from chat.
I'm gonna attempt to do it. I've never managed to get it completely. I've managed to get it up until the last jump. So let me explain what the baby skip. Well, baby skip, basically, in Turian, you have a cutscene where the baby, now giant, will try to latch onto you and drain your health. You can skip this cutscene if you maneuver around the baby and manage to get out of the room without it grabbing onto you. It is a very technical endeavor because you need to have the correct movement around the baby, but you also need to need to shoot some obstacles out of the way. I'll talk a little bit more about it when we get there. First, we're going to collect a few more items on the way out of Lower Norfair. And that should be good. Also, just as a heads up, I should have all the items up until now, but if for some reason I forget an item, which would be rare, I'll donate. I'll make an extra donation to charity because why not?
Because you can't, Box.
Because I can and because I'm because happy mistakes happen. Let's see. On the way out of Lower Norfair. And we're almost there. And the way we're headed, we're almost past the dangerous part. And now I have screw attack, so this next part after picking up this item hidden here. There are 3 red key hunters, so there's 3 red big bugs in this room. With screw attack, it's pretty easy because they just die when you jump through them. In any percent, especially if you do the new routes, they do a ton. You only have 3. You have less than 3 E-tanks, and they do a ton of damage. So they're really dangerous. And now we're right to here in the Bubble Mountain area of Norfair. So we're almost out of here. But we're gonna clean up this area first. Because there are a few more items in this place. Not just this lone missile tank here. No. Super Metroid tends to have a lot more hidden spots. Because, yeah. You think like, oh, we're at the hidden spot because there's an item in this area. Well, sometimes there's an item hidden behind the hidden item. And, yeah. The exploration part of this game is a lot of fun. So I can definitely recommend the series to anyone.
So it's like mandatory to get every item there is in the game.
It's not mandatory.
It's not mandatory.
No,
okay.
No, it's for this category. It's mandatory because it's 100%. So, I mean, and the thing is, this game also has a percentage counter for each. That counts how many items you've collected in the game, and that's also the origin of 100% category and any percent category in general. Because, well, any percent basically means, well, complete the game with any percentage of items collected in the game. So that's where the speedrun term any percent originates from, actually.
Nice fun fact.
A little bit of history.
Yeah. A little bit of speedrunning education on the side.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it's because this game has a built-in percentage counter, but it also has a built-in in-game time counter. So that's in-game time. This game also has an in-game timer, and although it's wildly different from the RTA timer. But it's also a thing that you see in a lot of Metroid games. And it's also the reason why people started speedrunning Metroid games, because let's get that timer on the end screen as low as we can. It's really as simple as that. Put a timer on something, and people get competitive. I mean, that's what speedrunning in general is.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you want to have a time on the leaderboard, and it's pretty awesome if you're like top 10 on the world, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. Some games in our lives we've played hours and hours of. I mentioned people playing this game for hundreds of hours, and at some point you want to add a little twist to it. Oh, I know this game by now, so how can I enjoy this game again? Well, one thing you can do is, see how quick you can beat it. And that's where the hobby of speedrunning comes from. It's really cool if you think about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can learn a lot of games like these because, like I mentioned, the biggest difference between, for example, me and a world record runner is the movement. How do you save 15 minutes on a category in terms of movement? It's crazy if you think about it, because lots of people think like, oh, but they can kill a boss faster. But quicker boss kill only saves you 10 or 30 seconds or so, something among those lines. Those people can save minutes and minutes worth of time using their movement. So getting from A to B in the quickest amount of time. And it's really interesting from a speedrunning perspective. It's something I find interesting at the very least.
Yeah, because you don't have any change on the hardware or the region of the game, or is there any difference in that? Or
there is some difference. I mentioned the PAL version earlier, so the European and Australian versions. Let me first. No, didn't get that one, unfortunately. The biggest difference is the regional difference between the Japanese and American games on one side and the European games on the other side. That's mostly because of the frame rates, actually. Because the European electricity is on 50 hertz, and the American and Japanese electricity is mostly on 60 hertz. And their frame rates, television frame rates, used to be dictated by that as well. And as a result, in order for the consoles to run properly on the electricity, they also had to adapt the way the game plays to that frame rate. What they did for the European version actually is it's 50 hertz, so the game runs slow. But in order to make it look as fast, they made Samus faster in that game. But overall, because the rest of the game runs slower, the American, the NTSC version, so American Japanese versions, are faster. But you can do stuff in the European version that you can't do in the American Japanese version. But yeah, it's faster to run NTSC as they call it. Hardware-wise, there isn't much of a difference. If you the fastest is to run it on original hardware, Super Nintendo or Super Famicom. You can also run it on Wii Virtual Console. Recently, it also released on the Switch Online.
You gonna run that, or are you already running that on a Switch?
Nah. This is not the Switch I'm running on. I'm running it on. I can say that as well. I'm running it on a Super NT, and the Super NT is a FPGA hardware clone of the Super Nintendo. So basically, a modern hardware emulator for a Super Nintendo. It's been sold, and the nice thing about this one is that it outputs HDMI quality. And it's a lot more portable, so it's nice to take to events like these.
So the graphics with this game are pretty much a little bit polished than if you compare it with the older.
Well, no, not as much as you think, because it's still the same graphical output for the most part. The only big difference is that it's immediately converted to a digital video output. It's still the same 480p quality, or 240p quality, sorry. But it's put into a digital video signal, which your modern TV, modern monitor can handle. But what you can do with the Super Nintendo, you can also go for RGB video output, so with the big SCART plug. And that quality is close, if not the same, to the quality you see on this screen here. Let me take a double check here. Because I want to take an extra save. Just to be sure, because... Interesting. I missed 2 items, and I don't know where I did that. Can I find that? What did I miss? Oh, I think I have an idea where it might be. But I need to double check that real quick. What's the time on the timer, if I may ask?
125 currently.
125. We have the time to collect those, actually.
Okay.
If I understood correctly, because I had this happen in practice earlier, and I was a bit confused why. They should be located in... I think it's Meridia, but I'm not 100% sure. That's why I'm gonna check. Gotta do a few checks, and you'll be seeing if you... oh no, never mind, I can't make it this way in. Let's see. I forgot them in... Worst comes to worst, I can come back to... Worst comes to worst, I'll finish the run and I'll donate. That's fine.
We have someone in chat is Meridia is clear. No fair super and missile missing? Question mark?
Norfair, how did I miss a Norfair though? Because Norfair sounds the most logical to me as well. What did I miss? I went to that one. I'm trying to go by my brain where I didn't miss it. It should be the ones in... oh. Meridia is clear. Dup. Yeah, I am gonna take full responsibility for this. Let's see. It's that one, that. I got Korkomaya area. I got that area. That's...
Basically the items behind Green Door in Bubble Mountain.
Yeah, I think I think I did that.
Okay.
Well, no, actually. No, because one of the items behind that is a reserve tank, and I think I got that. Yeah, I got both of them. This is interesting.
Only at marathon, people. Only at marathons.
Yeah, this is fun. I remember Vader a few years ago actually found out on the credit screen that he missed an item. I'm a little bit earlier than that, but...
we have time.
Yeah, I am fully... Come on. I'm pretty sure that I got these, but... So that would leave super missiles. I missed the super missiles though. I got those, I got that one. I also got the ones in Brinstar, so... hang on, I can check this really quickly. That's... That. On the way out? No. I got those. I am not figuring it out fast enough.
What about Criteria Shaft and Old Mother Brain?
You're 100% correct. That's those are the ones. Yeah. Yeah. That I remember now.
Thanks from Asheria. I hope you pronounce your name correctly.
All the love to Ash and
All the love to Asheria.
all the love to Ash and Yumi. I play multi-worlds with them regularly.
Okay.
They couldn't make it here, but
all claps in chat, please. All claps in chat.
yes, that's the one. That's the one. I completely zoomed past those two items without realizing it. I went too fast, yeah. Because the problem is they are the third to last and second to last items you collect in the game, and I just ran straight past them. Good ones. Somebody's sharp.
Very good in chat, indeed. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Ash is also a Super Metroid runner. She's really cool, by the way.
Shoutouts.
Yeah, I definitely one shout out I'm gonna be giving here. And the nice thing is, it's also on the way to where I need to go, so I can just go there. In fact, host, I have a question for Mies. I have a question.
Shoot box. What do you want to know?
What is the time on the timer currently?
1:30 exact.
Okay, that is gonna be one tight.
One tight. Your estimate is 1:42.
Yeah, and it, just to give you a bit of an estimate, I think I should make it, but it's 8.5 minutes from the Golden 4 statues, and you'll see when we get to Golden 4 statues. Trust me.
Cool. Everything is gold.
Well, you see the statue.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's a statue of the 4 bosses we fought. So Crate, Phantoon, Ridley, Dragon.
Cool.
Not in that order, by the way. No, the first item I missed is down here. I completely zoomed past it. I zoned out at this zone, definitely. I'll blame it on the nerves.
Marathon chills, marathon chills.
Yeah, it's because the real challenge of running this at a marathon is the sheer amount of information this run has. I froze those enemies as I walked on them, so that one you can do with the plasma beam is really cool. And yeah, that we're now 230, 50, 50 for the ammo. Little damage boost. And now we can continue to the end. And I think that cost me 1 or 2 minutes, so I should have about... yeah, I should have enough time to finish under estimate.
Yeah, you have 10 minutes exactly left.
Yeah, that it takes a little over half a minute to get to Golden 4. And we'll be going at a breakneck speed, so obviously. And Turian is also one of the more technical areas to do. So yeah, I had a premonition that I missed some items, and I was correct. But it also goes to show how safe my estimate is, because I made an entire trip back to Norfair once again, the other side of the map, and I'm still probably gonna finish under estimates. Fingers crossed. Yeah, we're gonna get this. Because Turian is a place where we have a fun few things to show up. And one of the things I'm gonna set up for is once this statue sinks to the bottom and these blocks right here will break. Because if you open the menu, you have a fade out animation, and on that fade out animation you can still move and activate the elevator going down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to do that whilst going down the elevator, and because the last part of the elevator movement, you basically have a cutscene going down, and in that time I am able to menu, and I'm turned off screw attack. And the reason I turn off screw attack is to set up for a trick in Turian here. So first of all, we're gonna fight the Metroids, because we need some more Metroids in this Metroid game, and Metroids can only be defeated by either freezing them or using power bombs. And yeah, the Metroids drop supers and missiles. I have enough ammo. So what we're gonna do in a few rooms, I'm gonna group these Metroids first. First of all, Mies was talking about the baby skipper earlier, and we're coming up on the area where you can do the baby skip. And basically, the baby skip is this baby Metroid you saw at the start. So this tiny sprite, well, it grew up a little, and it's trying to latch onto you and drain your health. You can, if you move properly, you can dodge the baby and get out of the room. And this is the baby Metroid here, or also known as the Super Metroid. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Because what you need to do... Nope. I was almost there, by the way. Because if you make it to here and you morph ball jump up, you can make it out of the room without the Metroid making it to you in time, and you can skip this cutscene. Where your health is drained, and because after this you can get out of the room, but there's a health refill room down there. You need to refill your health, and then you can continue on. But you can skip all of that if you manipulate the baby skip. And the JoJoing movement you saw me do with the space jump is part of that. So that part I could show off somewhat, but the last jump is... getting to the last jump is tricky, especially if you have to fire shots to clear the obstacles, because those shots cause lag, and the lag messes with your movement.
Okay, yeah, because it was a question from Softnum in chat, so... Yeah, next time.
Next time, Gadget.
Next time.
A little bit of moonfall here. And the reason I turned off my screw attack is for a trick here, because normally with ammo you need to shoot out these Zabatites. But with out screw attack you can actually clip, and you're freezing the ring cast, those circles, you can clip through them, and that saves you having to shoot out all of the Zabatites. And in any percent that's really nice, because you don't have to have as much ammo, because you can only shoot out this phase of Mother Brain with missiles and super missiles. Charge beam doesn't work there. So you can clear this game with as little as 20 missiles, 10 super missiles. So just as a heads up for you, once this boss dies completely, I'll close off the save or kill the animals incentive.
Alright, good to know. So we have still to let you guys know 110 euros for kill the animals and 125 euros to save the animals. So get your donations in quick.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do another trick here, because this phase of Mother Brain takes 20 charge shots to go down. But what I did now is I damaged myself down specifically to this amount of energy. And if I damage myself down below another threshold, I can keep... Because normally what would happen is Mother Brain would damage you down to below 1 E-tank of health from 3 E-tanks, so you need a minimum of 3 E-tanks here. But she would try to hit you with another rainbow beam, and then she would... you get locked into the cutscene here with the baby Metroid, and you can't move. But now I can actually move, and once she sits down after the Metroid drains her, I can damage her already, which shortens the last phase of the fights. So from here on out, I can actually... Okay, that's fine. That's why I can lock... At 2 points, she can lock you on the floor. First point is at the start of the cutscene, but you can dodge that by being in the air. The second point was what just happened to me, but I can break out of that using the X-ray scope. And yeah, you can damage her already quite far down, because after the baby Metroid dies, you get the Hyper Beam and then you get the final phase really easy, but you shorten that phase considerably by using these shots. I need to be careful that I'm not firing a shot when I get Hyper Beam, or else the game will graphically run to a grinding halt, but normally this would take 30 shots or more, but now it took 2 or 3 shots, and that's moderating down. I'm closing the incentive right here.
Alright, we're closed.
Tell me, what's the news?
110 on kill the animals and 125 on save the animals. So we're gonna save them.
They're gonna be saved, definitely. So we have... The planet is about to blow up, so we'll have a final escape sequence, which is 20-ish seconds longer because of saving the animals. So here we go. So I would advise Tech to get ready on time, because this will take a minute from here. Moonfall here, and we're gonna be sparking up the shaft, because we'll be shortcutting into this room, which we've been in a few times. And yeah. So the animals will be saved, and the animals are located where we collected our morph ball bombs. Yeah, it is slower to do this, but Fusion is canon, I say. Metroid Fusion will be canon, and let me see if I can make this a little bit more exciting. Nope, no spark back, but okay, what I would advise now is for Tech ready on time. Because we'll almost at the ship, and at that point we'll escape. So here we go. Last room. I can see the timer here as well. I am slightly overestimated, but it's gonna be fine. Time. And I can confirm, I am 4 seconds overestimate.
Only 4 seconds.
And those 4 seconds, I would have been underestimated if it weren't for the animals. But you can see the animals escape, because the planet will blow up, and you see a blip going off to the right, the last part right here. Well, after this flash, you see a blip going off to the right. That's actually the animals. That blip only appears if you save the animals. So you see the summer ship appears, you see the explosion, and to the right.
Oh, there we go. Ah, nice, very nice.
I am 100% sure that I got 100%. If you would have to see the credits to get the counter at the end, but since I cut it so close to the estimate, I would say we'll call it a day here. So I'm gonna hand it back over to you. I wanna give a huge shout out to Asheria for helping me clear up the missing items. You saved my butt there. I am gonna donate anyways, because I missed those and I needed to get help for that.
Very good.
I'll be donating once I'm off stream.
Very nice run, Box. Thank you so much for that Super Metroid. Insane, 100%. Next coming up is Tiny Tim with Magic, and dizzy. And I will be signing off as host and give it through to Aishma. He is your current host for the next couple of runs. So take care, and we'll be right back.